This is a Crown Victoria. God damn it. Ooh. Ooh. This is a chassis wing. This is not a swinger shirt. You cultured swines don't know about Pineapple Willies? How dare you? Shout out Pineapple Willies. What is going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Mr. Random, and that, give me a second, and that there, boys, is the HooniVic. You guys digging the mustache? I'm trying to channel my inner Dale here. I think it's working, right? What do you guys think, ladies? You digging it? You digging it? Yes, you read the title right. No, this is not clickbait. I am going to be installing a chassis wing on a Crown Victoria. Now, I know what you guys are saying. Hey, this is a Crown Victoria, and this chassis wing says Mustang S197. And to you, keen, trained observer, I would say you're correct. The words chassis wing and Crown Vic should not be in the same sentence. Then again, Corvette, T56 manual, and the Hoonicorn all should not be within the same sentence of a Crown Victoria either. And so that is exactly what we will be doing in today's video. We're going to be taking something that was not meant for this car, and we're going to figure out a way to make it work and give you guys a step-by-step guide on how to install a Battle Aero S197 Mustang chassis wing on a Ford Crown Victoria. Now, like I mentioned earlier, this chassis wing right here is from a company called Battle Aero, right here, somewhere right here. Battle Aero. And essentially they make a bunch of chassis wings and spoilers for a bunch of different drift cars. But one thing I will tell you is that chassis wings are not meant to go on Crown Victorias. So it's going to be interesting to see how we can rig up this rear crash bar right here to take on the chassis wing. Now, speaking of chassis wing, there will be some assembly required. The first box brings the actual wing itself. The second box brings the mounting hardware. This right here. And there we have the full Thanksgiving spread of essentially all the components that make up a chassis wing. Of course, we'll start out with the actual wing itself. For those of you wondering how much this motherfucker measures, it's about 6.5 feet wide from end to end. Moving on down, then we have the actual bracket itself, the actual mounting bracket that is going to go right here on the crash bar. And then we have the two wing mounting brackets that attach to this big old wing right here. Of course, we got the end plates of the wing, and then we have the two support brackets for the wing. Essentially, they'll form an X to give it a little bit more rigidity and support. And lastly, we have the hardware. So without further ado, let's go ahead and assemble this. I'll show you guys how to put this thing together and actually make it look like a chassis wing. And then we'll try to figure out how the hell we're going to get it on the HooniVic. All right, so we have a change of scenery here. And as you can see, there was a little bit of trial and error going. So you guys are going to learn from my mistake. Obviously, this is a Mustang chassis wing. It's not meant to go on a Crown Victoria, which means it's going to require a little bit of modification. And by a little bit, I mean we're gonna have to cut some shit off. All right, so for those of you wondering, how does this thing even go? In what direction does it go? This is the mount that's gonna go for the wing, so you want it to be smiling, okay? So you know you have it facing the wrong way. If it's a frown, turn that frown upside down. You want it to be at the top. You want this 90 degree to be at the top, flag up to the top, and you want it to be smiling, okay? Now, originally, I was just going to mount it just using these brackets, and I had already pre-drilled right here, right? But this thing is heavy. The actual wing, the actual brackets that hold the wing themselves are solid steel. That's more weight. And then we have the wing essentially the whole thing's being supported by 2 bolts, which means it was just gonna fall right off. That's a problem. So my next approach, which is why I'm gonna do some cutting, I'm gonna use these 2 holes right here. So essentially I'm gonna have it flush against the crash bar, but you see this L bracket right here doesn't let it go all the way up so that we can get the other second hole properly aligned. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna cut that L bracket. It's gonna give us more access, and then we'll be able to mount this thing fully solid to the actual crash bar. And now we have 4 actual bolts instead of just 1. And just to get a close up, we're gonna be cutting right here. We're gonna cut this chunk off right at the angle. All right, let's try this again, bro. All right, so now that we cut those extra little brackets off, you'll see it'll go extra. Oh, cool, yeah. Turn the frown upside down, take my own advice here. So now it'll go extra flush, and look at that. We can align the holes perfectly that way we can actually insert a bolt through each side and have a little bit more support. All right, so the next step is going to be to center the chassis wing crash bar. You're going to center it on your HooniVic crash bar. You're going to center it perfectly. I use help. It'll help you if you have another person help you hold the bracket while you can point it out and while you can mark things and measure things. Once it is perfectly centered on your HooniVic crash bar, what I did was I then outlined with a Sharpie where the circles for the mounting points are actually going to go. The only thing left to do is to start drilling out those holes and then mounting the actual crash bar.
Yes, in the mustache, I'm trying to channel my inner Dale here. Ladies, you digging it? You digging it?
Just like that, once you get your chassis push bar installed, the only thing left to do is to tighten it. So we're working on fishing it through the bottom end right there, which is actually a bit of a pain in the ass. So she's doing it. After that, all you got to do is tighten this sucker down. Look at that. Let me see those hands. Let me see those hands. No, flip them around, bro. Does your girl take her wedding ring off to help you with your car projects? If she doesn't, you might want to start reconsidering your options. Let me get your ring finger. Look at that. That's how car guys do it. Oh yeah, boys, we are making progress. Got the crash bar installed. Looking mighty fine, looking mighty fine. Now we can actually start building this thing. The rest of the process, this is the hard part, the rest of the process, piece of cake. Now, if that is out of the way, the next step is to install the metal arms that hold up the giant wide, 6.5 foot wide wing. And essentially the way to install the arms is to just always remember this, the elbow area goes pointing out. You don't want it pointing in. You don't want it facing towards the car. You want it facing out of the car. And then what you'll notice is there's 3 holes here and there's 3 holes here. I can't count because there's 4 holes, and you'll see what I mean. This smiley face right here is so that you can align. You align the holes and the smiley face is there so that you can adjust how far back or forward you want your arms to face. All right, so just like that, we hit our first snag with the chassis spoiler. Many years ago, I had the same issue where you might have to kind of open up the holes a little bit. They didn't fully drill them out to where they needed to. So you're gonna have to slightly make the hole just literally ever so bigger just to get the bolts to fit through. So I'll be right back. You know, you figure if you pay over $1,000 for something that it's gonna come form to fit. It's been what, like 8 years since I last ordered one, and I thought they would have fixed that by now, but I guess they still get the 2 middle fingers up of approval. Let's try this again. And now that we have both the arm brackets that hold up the wing installed, the last thing left to do is to install the piece de resistance, the giant chassis wing. Will be complete soon. Let's install this bad boy. All right, so when you're installing this, you want the flat part facing your windshield, you want the circle oval part, the part that arches, facing outwards. So like this. All right, now we got the big old wang installed. We are down to 2 more steps, 2 more final step, guys. All right, and that is installing the X brace. Essentially this, it's literally its purpose. It's gonna form a brace that's gonna hold both ends of the arms, and it's gonna keep the thing extra rigid. There is gonna be a little bit of play. There's gonna be a little bit of sway. It's just normal, especially since this isn't supposed to be on a HooniVic, but this right here, we'll try to eliminate as much of that as possible. This is the second to last step left. All right, the way that the X brace connects, you'll pick one of the holes up here. You'll go there, and then it'll go to this corner down here. So it'll connect to that one, and it'll connect up at one of the holes here. And then you'll do the same with the other X. You'll grab it here, you'll connect to a hole up here, and then they meet up in the center. They both link up. All right, now that we got our X brace installed, the last and final and easiest step is installing the end caps. These side flaps, I don't know, it's getting late in the day. I don't even know what time it is at this point. These bad boys, these airplane wing thingies on the sides. All right, so the way that this installs, this end right here, end piece installs like this, pointy edge facing outwards. It's going to come in just like this. If you'll notice, there's already 2 Phillips screws that come in here. You take them out, you insert your end caps right here, and then you put the screws back on. All right, folks, and there we have it. Crown Victoria, the HooniVic with a rear mounted chassis wing. A little walk around right here. Now, one thing I noticed about this is that it doesn't look ridiculous. It's not like extra ricey. It's not as loud as I thought it was going to be. Obviously, it's a chassis wing on a freaking Crown Vic, but I don't know. It looks kind of tasteful. It actually looks like it goes with the theme of the car, it being the HooniVic. What do you guys think? Install wasn't that crazy, not that complicated. I kind of walked you guys through it. There's the finished product right there. Let's get a few little shots there. Oh my god, this looks so freaking cool. I wonder now how many people are going to start putting chassis wings on their Panther cars after seeing old Mr. Random doing this bad boy right here. Big shout out also to my boy KT Adams for pioneering this, bringing the drift look, some of that Japan inspiration out here to the Panther platform. Just give you guys a quick little walk around of the whole car. Sound off in the comment section down below. You guys approve? Yay? Nay? HooniVic's looking badass though. Golly. Woof. Keep going the walk around. Give you guys a full effect. What do you think? Is this it? Is this it, boys? Only thing about this, only complaint I would have is there was a little bit of modifying that had to be done, obviously, because it's not meant for a Crown Vic, and how expensive the damn thing is. It's a little bit over $1,000 to get this hunk of crap, but obviously the end results are well worth it. Look at that. Look at that, boys. I'm going to be putting a Forza Horizon decal there to continue with the Hoonicorn theme that this car is doing, you know. Big respect to KB forever. Hopefully the boys out there will be proud of what this thing has become. Hopefully it makes Ken Block proud. Let me know, comment section down below. Give you guys one more departing look at the Crown Vic with a Battle Aero rear mounted chassis spoiler.